This is masculine. This is feminine. Everybody has masculine, no matter if you're a man or a woman. Everybody has feminine, no matter if you're a man or a woman. It's just how much of each do you have. With me, my masculine needed to be pretty high to start my own business and to take direction in life. So my masculine had to be there. And otherwise I would just meditate in a mountain all day and just be. So my masculine is pretty high, and guess what? For me personally, my feminine is higher. My natural state is in my feminine. Here in this class, I have to be masculine to take charge. I have to switch to the masculine, but my natural state, I was born as a feminine. Not a woman, but I was born with more feminine energy than masculine energy. And 20% of guys are like this. 20% of guys will have their feminine more than their masculine. And that's normal. That's okay. Same thing for girls. Same thing for ladies. 20% of ladies, how do you like my handwriting? 20% of ladies will have their masculine more than their feminine, which is normal. So what does that mean for me? Since I'm naturally, the only reason why I started a company is to make money. An online company is to make money so I could pay the rent. Once my rent is taken care of, then my natural state, I want to go on top of a mountain and sit there for 8 hours. So my feminine is more masculine. For me, because I fall into the 20% of guys that their feminine is more dominant than their masculine, I cannot date a feminine woman. I cannot. Two feminine people cannot date. They can get along, maybe they can go shopping. Well, I don't like shopping, actually. They can get along, they can be best friends, but they cannot date each other. Or they can try to, but it won't work out. So I naturally attract the 20% that are masculine. I naturally attract the 20% of women that are masculine. I fall into the 20% of men. So my pool is 20% of all women out there. And that's fine. Actually, I just, one of my exes, pretty recent, I was sitting down, almost like in a meditative state, and she came next to me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Good, how are you?" And we just hit it off. So I don't have a problem with guys approaching girls. I don't have a problem with women approaching men. It's what you feel like. It's a calling. It's a calling. She felt the calling, whether she knew it consciously or unconsciously. She actually told me, "I don't know why I sat next to you and started talking to you. I never do that. I never touch people." And she started touching me right away. But I just had to do it. So if you feel a calling that you must approach a guy, I'm not into the culture of this. My personal view on life is I'm not into the culture of this society. I'm into the culture of what's right and wrong, the true what's right or wrong of the universal laws. I will obey the laws of this particular culture, but this culture will rise and fall just like any other culture will, thousands of times before. And so I'm not going to do what the laws of the government and the president tell me to do. I'm going to do them because I function in society, but as far as I'm able to freely act out, I'm not going to do what my friend says is right or wrong. I'm not going to do with what somebody else says is right or wrong. I know what's right or wrong. And if I feel like doing something and it doesn't hurt them, it doesn't hurt me, and it doesn't hurt the universe, then it's right. So those are the 3 rules to go by. It's not the culture's rules. Oh, men are supposed to approach guys. If it's good for the universe, check mark. If it's good for them, check mark. If it's good for me, check mark. Those 3 check marks aligned, then it's good. That's the only check mark that you need. to follow. I never listen to my friends, and if my friends give me bad advice, then recently I cleaned house. I cleaned house with friends and loved ones, and maybe and even some family members, because this is going to sound cold, but just because somebody is my best friend for 20 years or somebody's my family member, I can love them, but I can love them from a distance. I don't have to visit a lot. I can visit like rarely and be super present and be super in myself while I visit, and I know the universal laws. I know the three laws: what's right for the universe, what's right for them, and what's right for me. Does that answer your question, Amber? So yes. So approach guys. Approach all the guys that you want. Sit next to them and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm Amber.
I have a question. So are you saying that if you approach a guy, you feel a call or whatever, and the guy does respond, is he one of the ones that are 20% more feminine than or whatever you just said?
Oh, so her question is basically, how can you tell if a guy is feminine or masculine? Is that your question?
Well, I mean, if he responds, is he that 20% like you said you were? If you've approached him.
If I pick up, basically what you're saying is, if I pick up a pen and use it this way, does that mean I'm masculine or feminine? If I respond a certain way, does that mean I'm masculine or feminine? If I do this, does that mean I'm masculine or feminine? It's not exactly quite like that. Has anybody seen my clicker?
Right.
Oh, I found it. It's not quite like that. It is, the masculine thinks with their logical, in order, everything has to be detailed. They have a direction to them. They have a firmness to them. So if you find your mate thinking more logical, thinking more detailed, being more in charge instead of a follower, then that person is most likely the masculine. If you find your partner leading from the heart more, listening more instead of talking, having a certain gentleness to them, then that person is more in their feminine than they are in their masculine.
So it doesn't have anything to do with the approach, really. So a masculine man might respond to.
Right. Like if you say hi to a masculine or a feminine man, the odds are they're both going to say hi. I mean, they're right. They're both, and odds are like, yeah, you can't tell by one. Sometimes it takes me 2 seconds to tell if someone is masculine or feminine, and sometimes it takes me 2 months. I just go back to what this chart says. The masculine thinks in logic, thinks in detailed, thinks in. Somebody asked me the other day. Hey, can I use the restroom in your apartment? And I was in a parking lot. I was outside of my apartment, and I said, yeah, sure. Okay, is your apartment door open? Yeah, it's open. Okay, great. Do you want me to lock it before I leave? No, I leave it. No, let's leave it open. Oh, okay, great. Do you need anything from the apartment before? No, I don't. No. And then when she went in, and I'm like, wow, that was really detailed. And I'm just like, I don't. No, and I was just like, and I just want to float. I just want to be like, no, just go, just do it. So I was clearly in my feminine, because I'm like feeling her, and I hear her, and I want her to relieve herself in my toilet, and so I'm like really caring for her, and she's being really detailed. So in that moment, she was the masculine, and in that moment, I'm not saying she's the masculine all the time, but in that moment, she was the masculine. By the way, we can jump back and forth, just like we did. Like a woman can be very feminine at home, but if she has a job that's really detailed, she jumps in her masculine, and then she has to make masculine choices, like lead and take charge. And then when she comes to home, though, her natural state may be very feminine, and she's able to let go and surrender to her masculine man. Women are conductors of energy, so their primary function is to do this. And men, the masculine's primary function is to move forward, like an arrow. Their body is actually shaped straight, so they move forward. Men, we practice getting this more developed. It's not the sexual energy, this is the root chakra, and the sexual organs just happen to be down there. So breathing is very important, and the heart, and also the sexual energy for men and women is important too, because it's the power of not just creating babies, but it's the power to create businesses. It's the power to create life. It's the power, not just life in babies, but the power to create literally worlds. Literally planets were created from the root and the sexual energies. And so a lot of men are underdeveloped here. So we practice on developing this and being in your masculine. The 10-year anniversary falls on August 7th. The woman thinking from the heart is thinking a lot about this date. She buys a dress. 10 years of their living together is going to go into one night. She's going to be very loving, very caring. The man, it's a date, and it falls on August 7th, and I have something to do. Okay, great. So 4 of his buddies call him up. There's an Angels game on August 7th. The masculine will look at the calendar, August 7th, Angels game. I can't move the Angels game. Logically, he's thinking logically now. I can't move the Angels game, there's no heart. I can't move the Angels game, but what can I move? The anniversary. So he asks his woman, hey, can we go out on August 8th instead of August 7th? She flips out. I don't know why you're overreacting, babe. I mean, it's just 24 hours later. Logically again. No feeling, no heart. The woman with all feeling and all heart, and she's allowing this to go throughout her body, she's fully expressing herself. So the man says, you're what? You're overreacting. The woman says, what? You're being a jerk. So now the man puts his foot in his mouth even more and says, okay, I promise next year we'll go out on our anniversary. Now she's like, okay, you're not sleeping with me tonight. The way we make decisions, women make decisions from the heart. When they have something to say or make a decision, their natural state of being, they think with the heart first. Naturally. They're very caring. The feminine is very caring and loving. They have a gentleness about them. This is the feminine. When they make decisions like yes or no, right or wrong, they think from here first. This actually speaks out. The masculine, when they make decisions, they make them very logical. So it goes from here to here now. So they think like here. Logical, in order, everything has to be in sequence. There's a directness and a firmness to them. So it seems that they're not caring at times, or it seems that they could be a jerk. They're going by their natural programming. They're logical. The masculine is logical. They think in order, direction, there's a firmness to them. And then the feminine, their natural way of thinking is the heart, caring and feeling. That's why you might say never give, I don't believe in this comment, but that's why you might say never give a woman a hard decision to make, because she'll go with the caring and loving and the feeling first. I think that the whole planet should be run by women. I think there'll be no wars or anything. So the woman thinks from the heart. The man doesn't understand it because the man thinks logical. It's not like the man doesn't have a heart. I mean, if you got a good man, he has both. A really developed man will have a really strong masculine and a well-developed feminine. So he'll know what the heart is about. And a really developed woman will have a really strong feminine and a well-developed masculine. also. But we'll talk about, if we have time, we'll talk about masculine and feminine polarities. This is just programming what they think of first, what the feminine and the masculine think of first. There's something that plays into this later on. Straight, there's something that plays into this too. So the way we think, the feminine is creative. The feminine is also intuitive, like they think big picture. Their jobs, teachers, artists, they just have, they use their intuition, they call that side a lot more. They're in tune with that side a lot more than the masculine is. The masculine, analytical, very detail-oriented. They like things to be structured in one way. A lot of them are programmers, mathematicians. Masculine, feminine. Just because a man has most of these qualities doesn't mean that he's not creative or intuitive. It just means that this is first, generally speaking, how the masculine thinks, and this is first, generally speaking, how the feminine thinks, and just because the feminine's on this side doesn't mean that she can't be analytical and detailed. Also, how to get a man to understand you. I was driving, I turned on the ignition. Somebody that I was with, the female that I was with at the time, said to me, "Sid, can you put on your seatbelt?" And at the time, I was like, huh? No, no. You have your seatbelt. This is your airbag. Airbag check. Side airbag, good. Seatbelt's tight, good. Don't tell me what to do, women. You don't tell me what to do. So, I mean, I didn't really say that. I'm just exaggerating how maybe the nth degree what some men might think. One of the number one things that men want is freedom. One of the number one things that men want is freedom. And when a girl says the what right away, and so they think with their logical, what do you mean? This has nothing to do with you. This has to do with me. Leave me alone. Thank you very much. So there's two choices that a woman has. She can still tell him what to do, and have this constant battle, or she can say this, Sayad, I love you. I care about you a lot. I don't want us to get into an accident. I don't want to see you in an emergency room. That would crush my heart. I was in 2 horrific car accidents. I don't want that to happen to you. I can't bear the thought of seeing you in that. Can you please put on your seatbelt? Whoa. Whoa. That's a little bit different. Yeah, sure. Click. So what's the difference there? You ladies, tell your man why it has to do with you. If you tell him the what, he's going to get defensive. His walls are going to come up. Tell him what it has to do with you. What it has to do with you. And then at the very end, if she wants to take it to the nth degree, she can say the how. After what it has to do with her. It would hurt me. I love you. I can't bear to see you in an emergency room. Then pop the question. Say what it has to do with about you first. Then pop the question. Then pop the question of, can you please put on a seatbelt? Then say, possibly, this is optional. It depends on the situation. You could, because guys are logical, so help them out and say, you can do it just before you put on the ignition or after you start the car. Oh, okay, like it could be like a routine then, right, babe? Yeah, right. You don't want to be like condescending or rude. You want to, and I'm sure that you're not, because you're going to speak from the heart. So again, help the guys out. Don't tell them the what. Tell them how it has to do with you first. Tell them why. If you can't think of anything, come with me to my parents for dinner. Come with me to my parents for dinner. You don't say, come with me to my parents for dinner first. You don't say that. What do you say first? How it makes you feel, the importance of it, why it's important, or how it makes you feel. And then say the what, come with me to my parents' house for dinner, and then a possible how. We don't have to be there for very long. We can leave, I'll let you pick the time. Okay, this next part is probably the most important part out of the entire DVD. It's so important, I'm taking a clip out just to talk to you about it. Change, to grab the real quality mate that you want. It's great to write stuff down, what you want in a partner, what are the characteristics, but there's so much more to that. You're just gonna get the same guy, but just in a different face if you don't make the deep change inside yourself. Again, I've been through this. You will get the same person just with a different name and a different face if you don't change what's inside, if we don't look at the dark side in us. Only when we look at the dark side in us, only when we can accept it, do we make the change inside. When we make the change inside, change happens outside. It's not just in relationships. It's with money, it's with friends, family, it's with health. We can do all the outside stuff in the world, but if we don't do the real change inside, nothing happens. Men and women, we are truly different. Men, how do they make their decisions? From the logical side, driven, direction. We want to see things through till the end. This can be misconstrued for stubbornness and sometimes just being a jerk. Women use their intuition, they're creative. They make decisions from their heart. A lot of times this can be misconstrued for being irrational or she's crazy. This is easy to label. Easy to label without knowing what's going on in the background, without knowing how we make the decisions that we make. I've spent the last 20 years of my life researching the feminine and the masculine. These are general statements that I've made, but very spot on when it comes generally to men and women. Every man has a feminine side, every man has a masculine side. It's just to what degree. Every woman has a masculine side, every woman has a feminine side. It's just to what degree. When we understand the degrees in our spouses or our future spouses, then we could talk to them a whole lot better and the world just changes. If you have any questions about your man or your woman or your future man or future woman, I'm here to help you. Give me a call. My name is Sayad.